Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Harding and I'm the CEO of Lean Engineering Systems and Solutions. An acronym for our business is LESS, and we like to remind our customers that they can do more with less. Now today I'm here to explain to you an exciting investment opportunity and detail our new product idea, so let's get started. Now today, imagine yourself as a young engineer right out of college. You're enthusiastic about the education that you just received. You're ambitious about the career that you're about to begin. You're a smart, data-oriented individual who has bright ideas that you're keen to share with your work group, your boss, and your business. And you're anxious to make improvements on the process and to make your mark in the industry. Now, unfortunately, in the last 5 to 6 years, certain manufacturing industries have been rather competitive and have not fared well during this harsh economic time. And some manufacturing locations have ended up looking like this. Now, as a young engineer, this is exactly what you're looking to avoid. You're hoping to find improvements for your process, to keep it competitive, and to keep finding cost reductions in order to make sure that your business continues to thrive and survive during harsh economic times. So what tools is a young engineer doing or using to do this? Oftentimes they're using homemade Excel spreadsheets. Now spreadsheets are often very useful. We learn to use them in school, we often use them at home, and they're widely available and widely utilized in business. But sometimes a homemade spreadsheet can create analysis discontinuity if one particular department is analyzing data in one fashion and another department is looking at that same data and analyzing it a different way, or potentially not even looking at the same data and trying to analyze it. Now this can be true across departments or across operating locations. So what's one method of getting around this data and analysis discontinuity? It's using more robust software options that pull information directly from the machines and the PLCs that operate those machines on the shop floor. However, these more robust systems are often much more expensive, and a particular manufacturing business that is trying to fight and find every single cost and cost reduction option, a boss or a manager for one of these locations may say, this is too expensive for us and we can't use one of these more robust systems. So what is a young engineer to do in this situation? What tools do they have to use that are maybe more reliable and less analysis discontinuous? Well, soon Gembaware will be available. Gembaware is a software that utilizes lean manufacturing concepts to identify and eliminate waste in processes in order to make processes more efficient and reduce costs and improve the competitiveness of that business. So Gemba is a Japanese term that actually means the shop floor or the actual place, and it really gets to the core of the concept of the Gembaware software. It's all about finding information and getting information from the shop floor and utilizing that accurate data to finding the solutions for process improvement, and including getting the people involved on the shop floor involved in this process improvement effort, because by utilizing everybody in the organization, process improvement efforts will be much more sustainable. So that is the essence of Gembaware. Gembaware helps not only engineers but managers focus on a term called VAR, value added ratio. It's an idea of focusing on what parts of the process are actually adding value to your product or service that your customer will pay for. A typical value added ratio of a manufacturing process is anywhere between 1 to 10%. A world-class organization may have a value added ratio of up to 20%. Now, a small increase in the VAR from 2 to 5% can mean significant cost reductions for that manufacturer. Depending on their process, that could mean savings anywhere from $10,000 to $1 million, depending on the size of their operations. So what is Gembaware? What are the features of Gembaware, and how does it actually work? Well, Gembaware has preloaded lean manufacturing tools that involve process mapping, value stream mapping, downtime tracking, takt time calculations and tracking, and takt time is really a measure of how long a particular process takes, and waste identification, waste elimination solutions, as well as process and activity-based costing models. So all of these things can be used by a customer to more accurately focus in on their process and look at those details and find those waste elimination solutions and ultimately increase their value-added ratio. So who are these customers that LESS will focus on first? Well, right now, LESS is going to target the primary and fabricated metals industry. The metals industry in the last 4 to 5 years has reduced the number of participants by 4.5%. So it's obvious that there's competition, stiff competition going on in this industry, and the remaining participants are trying to fight to hold on to their market share and to not have to curtail operations or shut down. In addition, in this same time frame, the efficiency metric of value of shipments per employee has actually increased by 17.5%. So what that means is that it's obvious that the industry participants are actively trying to make sure that they are doing more and accomplishing more with fewer resources and fewer employees. So they're essentially trying to do more with less. And that's what LESS is trying to help its customers accomplish with the Gembaware software. So during a feasibility study of the Gembaware software, an regional lean manager from LMI Aerospace said this about the Gembaware software. This is something we would definitely use, and I don't know of any software like this out there. Now there are competitors, and I'll get to that in a second, but because that there is not a well-known direct competitive solution out there for even a regional lean manager such as Dennis, that means that there's market readiness and there's market opportunity for LESS to capitalize on. So how is LESS going to get that word to them? The marketing message is going to be conveyed on 3 main fronts. LESS representatives will attend trade shows and spread the word about the Gembaware software there. And we will also advertise in industry magazines and through the company website. We will get the message to these target customers in those 3 methods. So the 3 product offerings that LESS really is going to make available for its customer are the software only, the Gembaware software, at a price of $4,000. This may seem steep to some small manufacturing businesses, but once they are able to increase their value-added ratio, they can see great savings, and not only in that year, but for years to come. Now the software is also available with a setup and training assistance option, which actually means a LESS representative will travel to the customer's location and help them set up the software and actually train them on the concepts of lean manufacturing and make sure that they get the most value out of that software as possible by accurately mapping their process. And this is available for $10,000. And again, this is what we feel is our most valued, or has the most value for its product offering and for its price point. The final option is a free download version which has limited features, and the revenue stream for this offering is there are going to be advertisements built into this version of the software. Now, based on sales projections for the first 6 years, this is what the net income looks like The first year, 2015, there will be essentially no sales because the program developers will spend the year fine-tuning and crafting the product, as well as trade shows will be attended and advertisement campaigns will begin. Sales will actually begin in 2016, and you can see that there will be slow and steady growth for the first few years until 2018, where a new target market will be expanded into, and you can see the expansion there in terms of net sales in the previous years or the subsequent years. And by the year 2020, LES will reach projected net income of nearly $10 million. So the expansion plan is for every 2 years for LES to secure market share in a new target market every 2 years. First, we'll start in the metals fabricated in primary manufacturing industries. Next, we'll move to the food processing and manufacturing industry, and by 2020, LES will have moved into a new target market of the chemical manufacturing industry. And this 2-year cycle is believed to be an accurate or efficient way of securing market share and then moving on with new marketing tactics. Continued sales will come in the form of yearly upgrades and updates to the GembaWare software, which will be available to previous customers in order to ensure that they have the most up-to-date features of the software, and this software will be continually worked on by the developers to continue to find more efficient ways to utilize the software and to help them find cost reductions. So what does the competitive market look like for the manufacturing consulting industry? There are several indirect competitors, such as a general utility software like Microsoft Excel, but this does not have the preloaded lean manufacturing concepts built into it, and also has the problem with the analysis discontinuity. There is the general manufacturing consultant like Accenture. They focus on highlighting opportunities for waste reduction and cost reduction, but they aren't a tool for identifying them and actually eliminating this waste in the long term, which GembaWare is. There are also direct competitors such as Weber Systems or Tupus. Weber Systems actually offers a full, complete ERP solution, which is actually offered in modules and is more expensive than GembaWare. And Tupus is probably the most direct competitor, but it is much more targeted towards the engineers and the management and doesn't actually involve the shop floor individuals and getting the data directly from the shop floor, which is the main goal of GembaWare. Here you can see the top 10 consulting service providers North American market share, and you can see here that in the top 10, the smallest market share of one of those top 10 is 1.9%, meaning that the direct competitors, which aren't on this list, have less than 1.9% market share. So there is certainly a strategic opportunity for LES in this market. The exit plan for LES management in terms of transferring ownership is an initial public offering scheduled for September 2021. So here is your opportunity. A $400,000 investment today will garner you a 40% stake in LES management and LES ownership. And that ownership stake will be able to be controlled up to and through the initial public offering if you so choose. So let's return our imagination to that young engineer. If you were that young engineer today and you had GembaWare as a tool, you will have been able to say that you could eliminate waste, you could have increased productivity, and reduce costs because you were able to do more with less. Thank you for your time and attention.